Okay, so a brother and a sister are running to school. We're told that Sophia goes 7 miles an hour, Daniel goes 6 miles an hour. Um, so whenever I hear something about like how fast a car is driving, that at a constant rate, or how fast somebody's jogging at a constant rate, it makes me think that of this equation: the distance you travel equals the rate that you travel at times the time it takes you to get there. So, in like a quick example of this equation in action is like if you go 60 miles an hour for 2 hours, you expect to travel 120 miles in that time period, right? Because you multiply the two, the rate 60 times the time 2. So in this equation, in this situation, so we don't know the distance that they're traveling to school. They never tell us that. We do know Sophia's rate is 7 miles an hour. We don't know how long it takes Sophia to get to school, so we have to leave t as a variable. And if we try to do the same thing for Daniel, this actually doesn't quite make sense because it doesn't take them the same time to get to school, right? Daniel's a little bit further away. So in the same time it took Sophia to get to school, Daniel hasn't made it the entire distance. Daniel has made it the entire distance minus the 0.75 miles left to go, which is what 3/4 is. Right, so this is the real important part because then we can solve it as a system of equations after. This is Sophia's function, or Sophia's equation for distance traveled. This is Daniel's because Daniel, at the same time period as Sophia, if you plug in an hour into both these equations, they shouldn't be at the same distance. Daniel should be 0.75 miles behind once they've reached the school. So now this is ready for a system of solving like a system of equations because look, in the second equation, we could plug 7t in for d, right? Because of this substitution up here. So in this second equation, I'm going to say 7t, and now I've got something to solve. I can subtract 7t from both sides, so watch out when you do that. Don't lose your negative sign. That's negative 0.75, and that should equal, now 6t minus 7t, you get negative 1t. And to finish getting t by itself, to get rid of that negative 1, you just divide both sides by negative 1. So that's how long it takes me to get to school, 3/4 of an hour, 0.75 hours. But the question is asking how many miles is it from the house? We could plug 0.75 into either equation. Let's use Sophia's because Sophia's is a little bit easier. I'm plugging 0.75 in for t. And then when I solve, you'll see it's got the correct answer there. 5.25, that is the correct answer here. It has this red tab on it because I was checking out a student's quiz answer, and the quiz answer was marked wrong. So 5.25 miles is the correct distance. That's quite the jog to school. You're gonna have to bring a change of clothes or something.